Hi, this is a preview of the tool we are developing for working with openEHR artifacts. That is the openEHR toolkit from Cabo Labs. This is a tool that we are building right now, and it's just the union of several tools we developed over the years to work with openEHR and work with the HR server backend that we created, and for general testing of openEHR implementations. So this is just an integration of several tools that we already built into one tool. What we have already is the template management. So you will be able to log in into your account. You will have a personal account and you will have your own templates in your repository. So right now I have an empty repository here. I can search for some, some operational templates there. Let's see, I think that one is invalid actually. Haha, I got an error. Let's try with another one. Yeah, we need to just show the validation errors on the screen. The previous one was invalid. This one was uploaded successfully, so you can see the details of that template. You can see the template ID, the language, some information like the archetype ID, and also you can see the code. Basically, the OPTs are XML. And here we are starting to integrate some tools to work with the templates. We already have a couple of them integrated. These tools are actually already working in the free version of the openEHR toolkit. This is for generating XML instances for testing based on this OPT. So for example, if I click there, here I can select if I wanted to generate an XML version or a composition, and if I want some test data for the participations, I will just select version there and no participations. So I will submit this. This will generate the version there. So this is the XML with random data, but complies with the operational template definition. So for example, this has blood pressure there, and the value for the systolic, this doesn't make sense. It's just auto-generated. In the future, we will add more constraints so the data that is generated looks like real information. For instance, for the free text nodes, we are generating random text right now. Yeah. But that is generated, and in the free tool, the only thing that we offer is to actually download this generated instance. So you can copy, and you will copy the XML generated for you. But on this version, we are storing all the generated documents. So if you go to compositions, for example, you will see that one generated. So it was generated for the template ID. This is vital signs in Spanish. Was created right now is XML. We can also generate JSON, and that is just the size of the file. And if I click here, I can see some details. We are working on the user interface, but it's just some details about the file. You will be able to download these files and use them for testing openEHR implementations. Here I can, for example, upload another one just for showing you. Let's try to find one that works. That seems to validate. Okay, so I have another template there. I can generate, the instance. I can add the participations. Here I have the instance here. The participations should be here, so it adds basically this structure to the document. You can also just generate the version, the composition, so it starts from this node instead of generating the whole version for you. And if you go again to the compositions there, you will see two instances there. We also will provide batch generation. For example, if you need, 1,000 different instances to be generated from one template, we will be able to generate those for you, and you will be able to download all those files from here, and we will store that in your account, so it won't be accessible for others. Some tools that we already have for the templates: you can see the details, you can generate the compositions, you can list the template nodes. This basically shows you the internal nodes of the template with the template paths here. So you can see each node there, all the paths, all the types, all the names for each node, for the nodes that have names. Yeah, so if you need template paths, you go to this section. If you need archetype paths, you can see the nodes here, and you can see the archetype ID of each node, where the node is defined, the path to that node from the archetype root. So these are archetype paths, and the same thing, the reference model type. If you have several languages defined in your archetype, we can list here all the names in different languages. Yeah, basically we have that. And another thing that you can do, and we will add more and more tools. Yeah, we are just working on having a good, user interface, simple to use, and then we will integrate the rest of the tools. We have tens of tools. If you want, for example, the dependencies of this template, you can click here, and it will list for you the dependencies. So the root node will be the archetype ID that is defined in the root of the template, and inside it will list all the archetypes referenced by that root archetype, that is the composition one. For example, this has vital signs, but that is a section, but inside it has an observation. So you can see like the tree structure here. This is basically a dependency tree of archetypes inside the template. Yeah, and we have the type, the reference model type for each node there. Yeah, basically this are the root nodes. And if you go to the archetypes, also you can upload and store your own archetypes. Let's try to find some archetypes here. For example, an instruction one. When you upload something, it actually parses the archetype and validates the archetype. If it's not valid, the upload will fail. Yeah. So you can see the details of that archetype here, the instruction, the languages defined inside, the type, etc., the time created. If you go to the list, you will see just the archetypes you have there. We will add also the names. This is the name of the root node in the archetype. It's like the concept definition in different languages. It will depend on the language that and the translations your archetype has. Yeah, but we will add that here later, and we can also show more information. For example, the archetype dependencies, the slots referencing other archetypes, we can show them on the details. When you go here, we can show them here. Or we might add another screen with a button here like the templates. Yeah. So this is basically it. You can store your templates, store your archetypes, generate compositions to test. We will also add UI generation. So generating from a template, generate a form in HTML, and you will be able to display the forms in the screens, and you will be able to download all the forms that you have on your repository. So basically it allows you to have some kind of better management on the artifacts that you are working with in the openEHR area. So everything related with openEHR will be managed here, and in the future we will add more features. If you have any ideas, any issues that you have currently managing your artifacts, your openEHR artifacts, that might be good to add to this tool, you can just left a comment below. The idea is to provide the tools that we already have, but we will also develop more tools and provide more tools here. So the basic idea is this: just help you managing your artifacts, managing your files for your projects when you are working with openEHR. So I think this is a tool that we need. The CKM that we have right now is not too open. It's difficult sometimes to work with the CKM when you are just learning or working with a prototype. It's very difficult. It takes a lot of time. You need to talk with a lot of people to actually upload your templates, your archetypes. So it's a difficult process. With this tool, we'll be compliant with the standard. We will support all the artifacts, the more common artifacts. Right now we will start with ADL and OPTs 1.4, but in the near future we will add also ADL2 support. We will have like very quick setup. This will be very fast, very nice, also very updated. Like the CKM has some performance issues, but we are not a CKM really. This is like a personal CKM, yeah. And this will be very cheap, very cheap. The idea is to help support the server. Yeah, that is the basic idea. The storage that we use, the network that we use from the server. The idea is to create subscription accounts and use that to help support the server and help support us to maintain this tool and add more and more tools for our users. Yeah, so this is a very early preview, but we hope soon to have a first beta version that we can release for friends and colleagues. And if you want to test this, if you want an early access account, just let me know also. Yeah. So thank you for watching. See you later. Bye bye.